touch this. You can't touch this.
Hello. What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and Redbox was gracious enough to give me a free code because it was my birthday. What have I not seen this year? Tag! Tag is a 2018 comedy film, and I stress the word comedy for many reasons, but I'll get to that in a minute. It was directed by Jeff Tomsic. It's supposedly based on a true story, at least so they say. I have looked it up. They do show real footage in the credits that this is, I guess, based at least on real people in real situations where you meet a group of friends who have grown up together, who have been friends for years and years and decades, and the way how they stay such good friends, how they stay in close contact is every May of every year they play a game of tag. And just for that 1 month, they all have to find creative ways to get close to each other, to tag each other, except for Jeremy Renner, who has never been tagged. So basically everyone else teams up to try to get this one guy. And I'm sorry, I tried to give this movie a chance. I watched the whole thing all the way through, and I did not laugh once. Not once! And it wasn't like I purposely sat down and said, I'm gonna just stone face this whole movie. I'm gonna sit here with my arms folded and I'm just not gonna like this. Believe me, I like to laugh. I love to laugh, and I want to laugh, especially for a comedy movie, and especially for this cast. This is a great cast. When I read down the list of people, you go, wow, how could this not have worked? We have Ed Helms, who some people may say, well, that's where the problem starts. But I like Ed Helms in general. He usually makes me laugh. The Hangover, the first one, and The Office I've been watching recently, and he's funny in that. But he's also hit and miss with some of his theatrically released movies where he's the main star. This one, he didn't do much for me. I'm not saying that his character was a dick or anything. I just didn't care. I didn't care about him or what he was doing. The beginning of the movie starts with him going for a job interview to become a custodian for this building, this high-end corporation building, all so that he can get close to Jon Hamm and try to tag him. It felt so far-fetched. It felt so out of the realm of realism or possibility. Oh, it's a comedy. Just go along with it. I tried. Trust me, I can go along with a lot of dumb movies like Dumb and Dumber and name them, and I will go along with it and laugh if it's funny. But it's just, I just watched this and thought, this is stupid. This is just, I'm not engaged. I have no personal connection to any of these characters, really. All this movie does is just present you with a bunch of recognizable faces, sure, but no real concrete backstory stuff or anything to get me behind them or really care about Ed Helms being so desperate to tag Jeremy Renner. It all seems frivolous. It all seems sort of dumb. I also don't buy Jon Hamm as somebody who would hang out with these people, who would get involved with this. Sure, fine, they grew up together. You want to go along with that. And I like that Jon Hamm was willing to do a comedy, a goofy comedy, but it just seemed like a waste to use him here. He didn't really have any big standout moments. He was like the CEO of this big high-end corporation, like I said, but he's willing to drop everything every month, drop his meetings, drop his job to play this game. And again, maybe these are nitpicky stuff that for some people it's not a problem or they like the movie, but when I don't laugh, when the whole time I'm not laughing at any of these jokes or any of these forced situations that they try to create to maneuver their tags, when that doesn't make me laugh, I tend to look at other things that will bother me. Like stuff like that. Jake Johnson, who I do like for the most part in certain movies, but he just played your typical average stoner that I've seen him play a few times before. Oh yeah, Hannibal Buress, was in this movie, but it's easy to forget that he's in the film because he had one note, one characteristic, one way of delivering his lines. Isla Fisher, it plays the wife of Ed Helms, which I don't know if I buy that he was able to get her. But I like the fact that they made her a part of the game and that she too was in on the fun and willing to get down and dirty. I just still never laughed. And Jeremy Renner, like I said, he's the best at this, right? He's the guy who can do no wrong. He's never been tagged. In some of these sequences where Jeremy Renner is acting like Jason Bourne and he's able to thwart every single one of their plan, and his scenes are shot in an action-y, slow-motion way, and he's narrating every tactic and strategy that he's doing. Again, I got the joke. I just was sitting there like, just nothing. Not impressed. That giggle I just did was more than I did throughout the whole movie. I read online that during filming, he performed a stunt where he fell 20 feet, fractured his elbow, and had to wear a cast for the rest of the shoot, which they CGI'd the cast for the rest of the movie. Which, like, how much did that cost? And he gets severely injured like that doing tag? Really? Why did he do the stunt? All of these Avengers movies and action movies I've seen him do, and this is the film he gets seriously injured on? Okay, Leslie Bibb plays his fiance, who I might have liked a couple of things they did with her, some twists with the character, but still, at best, amusing. Annabelle Wallis, who is somebody that I've seen in a few films, Annabelle, the first one, The Mummy before this. So needless to say, she hasn't had a great track record with me, and this one's no different. She plays a reporter. She's interviewing John Hamm at the beginning. She sees what's going on with the tag thing, and so she wants to tag along. Literally, she wants to join in and write a story on them as they're doing their adventure. And the whole time I thought, why is she here? She's not really participating in any of this. She doesn't have any funny dialogue. She throws in a couple of like anecdotes or comments on certain situations, but she was completely wasted. There was really no point of her until you see that, well, in real life, these people had a report, had a story written on them. So I guess that's the role, the only role she filled. Also, Rashida Jones shows up, who I always like, especially in comedic stuff. I think she's really good and funny, but she just shows up for this random force-fed, shoved inside plot of a love triangle between John Hamm and Jake Johnson. And it's like, what? Do we really need any of this? It doesn't go anywhere. It just seems, hey, let's just throw in a love interest because there's not much else going on with this material. That's what it is. It's the material. Because again, the cast itself is good. I think it had somewhat potential. The music, the soundtrack, I think is pretty good. But as far as the jokes go, as far as the way it was shot and directed, I'm going to put a lot of the blame, most of the blame, on the writers. I'm going to blame them on this material being so lackluster, so boring and uninteresting. I checked out so many times. I'm like, this isn't catching me. This isn't gripping me. This isn't keeping me interested or entertained. Wow. This doesn't help that this comedy movie is coming after seeing a film like Game Night, which I thought was very funny, very creative, and very new and refreshing. This, no, not so much. So clearly, I'm going to give it some old bullshit.
That's some old bullshit.
Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below if you too saw Tag. Did you like it more than I did? Am I being too harsh on it? Or do you agree that it wasn't that great? Again, give me some comedy films, please. Like recent ones. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!